Being a tarot beginner or learning how to read tarot cards is hard enough. First of all, you have to learn all the tarot card meanings for 78 different cards, and then you're supposed to try to read them in a complicated tarot spread like the Celtic Cross. No way. There's a far, far easier way. So other videos in this channel are cover how to learn those tarot card meanings, but this video is going to show you some great, easy tarot spreads that are perfect for beginners. Hi, I'm Angie from The Simple Tarot, which is your source for helping you learn how to read tarot cards so that you can then use them as tools for creativity, for brainstorming, for personal development, for self-care, for whatever you want to do, have fun with it. I'm here to help you learn those cards. So we're going to chat today briefly about my favorite easy tarot spreads for beginners. But if you want to dive into this topic and other beginner topics much deeper, check out my next live workshop, which is how to create your own tarot spreads. And if you can't make it live, of course, you can always watch the workshop replays at learn.thesimpletarot.com. I'll drop links in the description as always, but that workshop is a great way to dive deeper because it's about, 2 hours, whereas this is like a short little video. So when you're a tarot beginner, there's plenty to learn. You don't need to make it more complicated on yourself by trying to learn complicated tarot spreads like that Celtic Cross spread. So that Celtic Cross is traditional. It's the classic tarot spread, and you will work your way up to it. But it's far easier if you start with smaller tarot spreads that only have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 cards. My absolute favorite tarot spread of all time, for beginners, for myself, for professional tarot readers, for everyone, is the simple 3-card spread. So I actually love it so much that I created an entire video on how to watch it or how to read it. So you can watch that one right now if you want. But there are other tarot spreads that are great for beginners that I love as well. The first is just a simple 1-card spread, which there's only 1 card. I don't know if you can call it a spread, but it's really useful. First as a daily draw, which is something I'm going to cover in another video, of course, but the daily draw is basically pulling 1 card a day and then writing down in your tarot journal some thoughts about what that card is, usually asking a question like, what do I need to know today? Or what is the energy of today? It's usually something you pull in the morning. Then the next day you do it again with a different card, of course, but you also review your journal entry from the day before and see how that card or the card's energy played out through the previous day. It's a great way to build your tarot understanding of the card meanings and to really have a regular tarot practice because you're doing it every single day. So another great way to read a single tarot card is a yes/no question. So you can ask the tarot anything, but come up with a really good question that could be answered with a yes or a no, and then pull your 1 card and see if that energy of the card feels like to you it's a positive energy, which reads as yes, or something more negative that reads as no. And sometimes the individual card itself will have some more information based on the question you asked. Really fun, really quick, really easy. And again, it's a really good way to start becoming really familiar with those tarot card meanings as well, because you can ask as many yes/no questions as you have time for. And finally, a third way to read a single card spread is to think of binary questions. So a yes/no is an example of a binary question. There's really only 2 answers, right? There's a yes and there's a no. But there are other ways to ask a binary question, like, I don't know, should I drive to Philadelphia or Boston? Either one, draw a single card, and depending on what the card is and how it reads, you will know whether you're supposed to go to Boston or Philadelphia. It's kind of a terrible example, but just think of binary questions. A single card is a really good way to get some more information and to solve those. Moving on from the 1-card spread, we'll add a second card. So 2-card spreads are actually really common too. You can ask it as a 1-card spread and then pull the second card later to get more clarification about your answer. That's one way to do it. Or you can lay the 2 cards out at the same time. Some common layouts for the 2-card spread include them, me, if it's a relationship. So you're looking for information about them and information about you, or their feelings and your feelings, their background and your background, however you want to frame the question. It's a great way to look at relationships because you have them and then you have you. Another one is past present. So you don't need to read predictively or in that future telling, fortune telling sense to use this spread. You can just look at past and present. So you read it like this. So based on this situation or problem, what happened in the past to bring me here today, and what is going on in the present? A great way to get information really about any situation in general in your life. You can also read that as past future if you choose to read in a divination way. So depending on the situation and the question asked, what brought me to this present moment based on what happened in the past, and where does my actions, where is it going to take me in the future, or what is fated for my future, depending how you read. And finally, one of my favorites is now next, because I just love actionable tarot spreads. So one of the cards represents now, like what is the situation right now? And then what is the next action I can take to move forward? The now next spread. So you don't need to read reversed cards. Those cards are like, if the card's upright, normally it shows as reversed. Now, if it's upright, normally it shows as reversed in the spread. You don't need to read those anytime, but you especially don't need to read them as a beginner. So just flip them right back, right side up if you find them during a tarot spread. So reading one card is great. Expanding to 2 cards really helps, but now you're ready to go to 3 cards. And reading 3 cards is really where you get to practice finding that thread, that narrative line that sort of like goes through a story. And you can read the story as beginning, middle, and end because you do have those 3 cards. So Pinterest is my favorite source for finding new tarot spreads, but they can be a little bit more complicated than 3 cards. So Pinterest, if you're just searching for tarot spreads, like search for tarot spreads for love or tarot spreads for writers or something, you're going to get an overwhelming abundance of tarot spreads there that you can practice and play with. I do recommend first, though, that you get a little bit of understanding at finding that narrative thread by practicing the 3-card tarot spread. It's one of my favorites, really, because it's powerful enough to be used by professional tarot readers, but it's really simple enough that you can use it as a beginner, and it's really good for tarot practice. There's so many different ways that you can interpret those 3 cards: past, present, future, him, me, us, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Like it can also be used for money, for divination, for general questions, for for love. It's all there. The 3-card spread, love it. So when you're ready to dive more into this powerful 3-card spread, check out this video I put together for you. Then you're going to be reading cards in no time. All right, I'll see you there.